97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is your 3 p.m. news update on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Irma Ratensing. Good afternoon. There has been a significant improvement in the detection rate in murders for 2020. This has been by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in a media conference earlier. Deputy Commissioner of Police Jason Ford gave the statistics. Campaign managers for all political parties are urged to ensure their walkabouts, cottage meetings and political gatherings remain within the 25-person limit. They must also ensure they are wearing masks. A coronavirus vaccine developed by the University of Oxford has tested safe and effective in triggering an immune response to the virus. The trials involved 1,077 people. They showed that the vaccine led to individuals making antibodies and T cells that can fight COVID-19. These are some of the stories making news at this time on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Look out for more of these and other stories in our major news at 4 p.m. I am Irma Ratensing. Good afternoon.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Cunupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Cunupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
Looking for a nice after-work climb this Friday? Well, the entire team of U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio will be at Lima's Bar, 67 Boca Road in Bocal. This Friday, 24th July 2020. We're bringing the entire crew. Come and meet and greet your favorite DJs and announcers. Lots of live entertainment, drink specials all night. Just for you this Friday, 24th July 2020. See you there at Lima's Bar, 67 Boca Road in Boca.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is the choice, PNM is the voice, PNM only way on election day is the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police, hey.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Just about 10 minutes after the top of the hour, broadcasting live from Couva Central, Trinidad, it's time for Politics 2020 with yours truly, Ann Duque. Joining me in studio shortly will be Nicole Duque. We thank Irma Ratan for the 3 p.m. news update. Of course, she will have major news headlines at 4 p.m. Also in studio with me, bringing us live on YouTube, is Shiva Parasram. You can catch us on YouTube on RCL U975 or on the traditional radio band of 975 FM. We are also streaming live on Facebook. Welcome to all our viewers, both abroad and locally. It's politics season. Time of falsehood, accusations, secrets jumping out of the cardboard box, and so much more where politics is concerned. Well, today it's back to school for SEA pupils. They are back out today in preparation for the SEA exam, which would be held tentatively on August 20th. Tutor will be meeting with the Elections and Boundaries Commission this week to discuss issues including social distancing and the aftermath of the August 10th election and what implication will it have on the SEA exams. U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Radio, have been following this story very closely with exemptions of the 5 student nationals abroad. And Panda G, if you are listening in, you can perhaps call me in and update me on where your daughter stands, whereas exemption is concerned. I understand that 5 students have been granted exemption order from the Ministry of National Security. Final letters of exemption to return to this country tomorrow. There are new public health regulations concerning COVID-19. New regulations have taken effect and will now be in place until September 30th. The new regulation include a closing time of 10 p.m. for all bars. This is an extension from the 8 p.m. closing implemented hour, which was implemented for just about 1 week. After bars were allowed to reopen after COVID-19. Following videos were circulated online showing large number of gatherings outside some establishments, including the area where I live. Certainly you can tell that there are no social distancing. Bar owners have taken up this issue, and despite being allowed to open until 10 p.m., they have taken the issue to court today. Well, we don't have an update on what happened with the court matter today, but as it comes to hand, we will inform you of it. Candidate facing the polls, Ravi Ratiram, facing the UNC Couva North constituency. He have said the accusations of brothels and sex rings are nothing but falsehood by the PNM and those opposing him. Mr. Ratiram have pointed out that he has been an alderman since 2016 and an unsuccessful candidate in 2007 and in 2015 representing the United National Congress in the Point Fortin district. And he said it is curious that these allegations have only now surfaced. He have described himself as a farmer and a soca artist. He have described himself as someone close to the ground, as a businessman. Currently, he said he's planting crops. In fact, he indicated that he has 1 acre of melon to reap this week, and he recently planted an acre of sweet potatoes. Where does the Couva North constituency stand? Will the accusation affect this candidate? Couva North have traditionally been the seat of Basdeo Pandey, the founder of the UNC, with an electorate of 29,284 constituents registered to vote. In the last general election, there was a 71% turnout. You had 20,816 voters turning out, casting their ballots. Ramona Ramdial was the elected candidate, managing to grapple in 13,845 votes, while Richard Ragunanan of the PNM got 6,749. What is the truth in that matter involving Ravi Ratiram? Well, as the days go by, we expect to hear more issues like this surfacing, you know. It is the season for it where politics is concerned, right? And it is up to the transformational wisdom of the electorate and the listeners and viewers to make that decision. Well, it's a Monday, it's early in the week, and we have a full week planned ahead on Politics 2020. Let me just tell all our listeners, coming up on Thursday, I have Mr. Maraj, the NIS expert, will be joining me just after 4 p.m. in studio on Thursday. So if you have questions on your NIS issues, you can call me in then on Thursday. I'm just informing our listeners so they will be forewarned. He will be in studio with me for 2 hours on Thursday. On Wednesday, we have the Politics 2020. We have the Economic Forum with Ved Seram just after 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Meanwhile, we continue to welcome you, of course, the listeners and callers to the program. You can call me in on 636-7547 or 2275739, like this caller here. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome.
And let me start the ball.
Go right ahead.
You know, I always tell you, because I from Couva North, that place built with a bit of my strength and all, because it was always a place that, you know, that we always try to assist the people. And yes, it come from Mr. Pandey, and I was together with Mr. Pandey, and we could go on and on. And I can't see in any imagination that today you're hearing all kind of thing about Ratiram and so forth. You understand? And when we have a certain prime minister had allegation against him, nobody did say nothing. But again, that's how the PNM operate and that's how the people work. I want to say something.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Bank Village. All these accusations you're hearing about this candidate, does it affect your voting capacity?
No. No, because I want to make it clear. I'm not a blind supporter, eh? But no, because we know the PNM tendency when they're back against a wall, they always pick up all kind of thing and run with it. Because I hear the leader talking, the PNM leader talking about the corruption that take place under the UNC building the airport. You understand? And how much years there is almost 25 years. He bringing up that. But that is the same gentleman who stand up when Mr. Manning fire him and he say, Mr. Speaker, if you think the airport scandal was a scandal, the amount of money that it's spent right now is 10 times worse under the Unicot, under the PNM. 10 times worse than the Piarco airport. But today, you hear a man with an empty vessel making the most of the noise and cannot tell people them what he do with the public funds, what he do with the people money from 2015 to 2020. He can't tell them that, but he bring them back once in our own memories and try to fool people. Imagine he go and tell people in Tobago that Watson Joke is working with the UNC. You understand? He tells people that. You understand? He know that. He know that he's saying that tax is important for our country. You understand? And tax is making build roads, it is making build school, police station and fire station and give you water. But what, I don't understand that, but that is the same man who today, water, they say water, the dam is empty. You understand? So I wonder if tax go make the Lord send the water and fill up the dam. You understand? This is a foolishness this man talking about, and people believe in this gentleman. I tell you today, and I say it very much from comment, with no apologies, Mr. Rowley itself is a man who created problem in 2015, 2014, and today is coming to hunt him because he lie and tell people all kind of things about email gate. Imagine he talking about Section 34. He talking about Section 34. Section 34 gone. He talking about Rishmi that gone. And I want to tell Mr. Jack Warner. Mr. Jack Warner support that man and brace for that man and defend that man when Mr. Rowley was a son. And today he passing his mouth.
Okay, Mr. Bank Village, we have other calls to take. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Politics 2020.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Dookie.
Hello.
You know, the Prime Minister is carrying a heavy basket full of water, and I hope he could make it to the people who really need that water, eh? Because I don't know if that basket, how many holes it have in that basket. The Prime Minister is always retracting his steps and back talking because he makes a lot of statements that's very bold and also very false. And Robert Amar, a person got killed this morning, right?
No, he wasn't killed.
He was shot 4 times.
He's out of danger now.
All right, thank you for saying that. Okay, at least he didn't die of bullet wounds. But this is the reality, you know. When you speak against anyone, you risk getting killed in this country. So how could, even politicians, I would say when they are running for election, they probably have a security detail behind them all the time. This country is like a narco country. It's frightening. And you know something? It has to stop with good government. We cannot put up 40 years again of this. Our children are going to suffer. I'll let it go there, Anne.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to Politics 2020.
Good afternoon, the honorable ladies.
Hello.
No, I have to say honorable, and I want to give you all some advice. I want you all to remain safe. Look at your surroundings vigilantly.
Yes, that's vigilant. Definitely. Good advice. Thank you.
You understand? Because it was Gladiator, it was Barrington, Skippy Thomas, and now we're having that fella, Andy Pitbull. Okay. That beside the point. I just want you all to be, because our country is in trauma now, because we're not too sure where we're going with this and what was the cause. I hope the police come and apprehend the perpetrator like today. Now, what I want to call about, and I call in about, I am hearing the Honorable Prime Minister saying that they want to win the election, that's the opposition, so they will truncate and abandon investigations, right? You hear him say that on a platform? Right. Listen to what he has done. You remember the Malcolm Jones? issue?
Mm-hmm.
And what he did, and he pulled it out. Right. You remember the Ken Julian? We hear nothing about that. So that gone. You remember the Clico report? It's sitting on somebody's washroom. That is DPP. You hear about a procurement for the last 6 years to avoid corruption. That procurement legislation was a result of the off commission when they find a lot of corruption, and that was the first thing to do. They say do that so it will avoid politicians. What did this government do? They refused to do it because that apparently gave them the good track to fill the pocket. And I've been saying those fellas came in cargo, in tight pants. Right? They say they were in tight pants. A lot of them were in cargo pants with 20 pockets. What do you think the pockets for? I say no more. And keep safe. Keep safe, you and your colleagues.
Thank you, caller. 636-7547, 227-5739. Let us say good afternoon to this caller here.
And let me get a minute. I was telling you about Mr. Warner. Mr. Warner defend that gentleman, and in all ways. And I was so taken aback that knowing a man like Mr. Rowley, you understand, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I now see why Mr. Rowley is so. Because Mr. Manning itself tell us about that gentleman. You know Mr. Rowley roughing up Jack Warner. You understand? Telling Jack Warner he in charges and how he corrupt and all kind of nasty things about Mr. Warner. You understand? And when Mr. Warner was defending him, you understand? You know, he was staying good. He was a good partner, a good friend. I want to tell you people something. If you look and you go back to your track in the same program, in the same station, you will see in 2015, I made a statement that the PLM going to stifle people. Stifle them to the very end. And when to the very end of the time for election, they're going to give you something. And it's unfair. It's unfair because it's taxpayers' money. It's not your money. Today I sit down and I watch a place. You understand? Posh vehicle. Go in the Ministry of Health. You understand? A gentleman. You understand? Go in there. You understand? But why is it you're taking the opportunity to enhance yourself, and the people who support you and the people who suffering can't get a bed? You cannot do that and give the people them. And I want to say something. I wish Andy Williams all the best, and I know our prayers with him, and he's going to get recovery very soon. And Mr. Andy Williams made a statement publicly. He said they want to hush him up, and he said he's not going to hush up because he's singing about Delcy. He's singing about all the thing about this corruption thing. And today, you're hearing now the man, as he walk out, people shoot him. You understand, sir? I find it very much suspicious. Now, me saying who do it, but in the end of the day, Mr. Gary Griffith, who said no stone will take and turn with anything, and he could get the cockroach in them. I want him to get that and prove himself instead of going and stopping people with short pants and telling them they are no permit. You understand? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Nicole, what's happening? It seems as though from the time a person sets their eye on office, a certain rottenness begins within them. That is politics.
Yeah.
That is politics. Let's hear these callers here. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
And good afternoon. And I take over there with you too. Good afternoon.
Yes, Nicole.
Good afternoon.
You better hang up and ask Bangladesh if you finish call, or you want to call back?
You make your point, sir.
All right. So go ahead then.
Right. Go right ahead.
Right. My problem is that, let me tell you one time, I didn't get no Carolina, and I did, and Munilal is the man who was in EMDD. And hear what I'm saying now. If what Rowley is saying Sunday night, he didn't say that Parliament of cover. The Guardian newspaper had a report, and the man who run that company was Rudal Munilal, who run EMDD. Now, if that story has nothing in it, or if that story was bogus, I want Rudal Munilal to get the QC and the Queen Counsel or Senior Counsel or who it is, because you know UNC have a lot of them. Take them fellas and file an action suit against the Guardian newspaper and Keith Rowley and whosoever do that story.
Well, you know,
And then
sir,
after you will know.
I don't know if you're informed, it wasn't the Guardian newspaper alone had that story, you know. It wasn't an exclusive story to the Guardian.
No,
it was
and
both
what
the
I
Guardian and the Express.
What I say, I quoted from where the Guardian was.
The Express also had the story, therefore it was not
I know-
exclusive to the
I
Guardian.
didn't see the Express. But whatsoever, if that story has no truth in it, now here I say, the man going up for election now, and that story busting now, if the man is wrong, if he's right, go and take your legal action immediately and stop it from printing anymore because you can start printing again. And I am saying if the man is right, or whatever, just for us no law, me ain't no law. Yes? But I know I ain't getting no land, and nobody never amend the agriculture law for me to get what I have to get.
Okay, so that's already. Let's take another call. Hello, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, Ibo Duki.
Good afternoon.
Now I have to go along just a second. I have to go along somewhat to that caller because, but I nobody called anybody name. But that caller just point out a past minister. I don't think the papers, any of the papers called anybody name. Did they, Miss Duki?
No, they did not.
Right. So you know why that caller came up with that name? Because that was branded about with Miss John, and apparently a gentleman in the ministry already faced charges and I think had a fine. So the question is, I see the Munilal took the Prime Minister to court just recently. I think today there's an article somewhere I think I saw Munilal took the Prime Minister to court. So according to the last gentleman, I would like to see he take the Express or the Guardian to court, stating that there, because what we see here is probably the same thing happened to the past Attorney General. And
you got disconnected. I did not cut you off, Mr. Barataria. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nicole and Anne.
Good
Honorable
afternoon.
ladies, I got Nicole right this time.
Yes, very much so.
Right. I want to draw your attention. There was an activist, they call him Mackey. Remember that fella? A PNM activist called Mackey. He was always on all of those shows. He has died now. He has gone to the great beyond. One of the things he always told us is the strategy of how the PNM buy votes. And one of the things that he said that it started since the days of Eric Williams and in Patrick Manning days. Mackey is very popular in Port of Spain. He said they used to give him a lot of money and a lot of jerseys, red jerseys. And he used to put in plenty blue notes in it and hand it out. And that is the same thing that somebody is trying to pull or hoodwink UNC supporters to say UNC doing it. It has to be somebody from that regime is doing it. I am sure of that because it's the same strategy Mackey used to tell us every morning on our radio station because he used to say he ain't care about the PNM. He want the money. I'm going to have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. Let me just make an announcement here. The Guyana Public Service Union, caller, just hold a second. Go ahead. The Guyana Public Service Union Observer Team last night said that based on the number of irregularities unearthed by the recount process and witnessed by its observer team, the union has arrived at the inescapable conclusion that the results of the March 2nd, 2020 general and regional election could not be credible. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Anne. Hi, Nico. Good afternoon. How
Good
you guys doing?
afternoon. We're good.
Politics 2020 in the air again. What I'm saying is like 2015, 2010 is the same thing. I don't know if it is that in 2024, 2025, people expect that the election going to change and the face of UNC or the face of PNM is going to change. This thing is with jerseys and everything. This is not happening now. Why everybody gets it on us so, oh my God, people, UNC put in jersey, money in jersey, PNM saying that they're doing this, they're doing it. This is not something that has happened now. We have dealt with this in the past for every election.
Exactly. It's not something new.
It's not.
It's not like the corona pandemic.
I want to know, and the way to get in on what bank.
It's a money pandemic, but only unfortunately I am not a victim to it.
And I am telling you, people see what they want to see.
That's
if you
right.
look at everything you're looking for, if you're looking for everything good in the PNM, you will find everything good. If you're looking for everything bad in the UNC, you will find everything bad. They didn't put the name Munilal. Nobody didn't mention anything about Munilal. But yet, still, you look to see, well, he was the minister in charge of so and so, and everybody started brandish about that. I am saying this election is like nothing different in the past. Up to election day, be prepared to get all the slanders, all the this, all the that about the past. The past is relevant at election time. Don't say that go on and Rishmi go on, and no, it didn't go on. Everything straight back
It
to...
will always resurface.
That's
They
right.
will start to call Eric Williams names just now.
Mm.
And they will blame Eric Williams for the country being like this. And yet still, no matter how much you show people in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a very, very good political environment. Though that thing that happened with Andy might be unfortunate, I'm not saying casting any aspersions on anything. I am just saying that Trinidad and Tobago is known for peaceful elections. We are not violent. We can banter each other. You can call each other Oreo. You could do what you want and what kind of thing. At the end of the day, it is not like Rwanda and bloodshed and all these other countries and stuff. We have a very nice government, and you fight for your party. You pull up all. Nothing wrong with that. That is what makes us Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Nicole, that is why yesterday when the story broke with the EMBD,
Yes.
I mentioned, you would recall, under Patrick Manning, the EMBD was under investigation for Uttara Rao.
Yes.
Remember Uttara's
Yes.
Manning good friend?
Yes.
And
Please hang up.
He was then the CEO of the EMBD, and there was confusion back then too. Hello, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
I don't know what we allow ourselves to be carried away with all this confusion. You see, there's an old saying, you could dazzle people with brilliance or baffle them with BS. And if these politicians have nothing to report to the population on what they have done to improve their lives, to make it better for their children, for the nation, when they have nothing to report on performance or what is to come, they come and they bring all kinds of lies and half-truths and innuendos and throw it out to us. And we keep chewing on it. We, the people, have to change our attitudes. We have to say to them, hey, we don't want to hear that, We want to hear what you did and what you can do. We don't want the BS, we want brilliance. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. Callers, you can WhatsApp us on 378-4975 if you're not getting into the studio. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
I see. I am not interested in politics. I am interested in serious issues like corruption. And that so much money was spent in the last 5 years. Who got the benefit of that? The majority of that money, where it went? It went to fight case, one party fighting another. Why do they take the people money and pay lawyers when they themselves are lawyer? Why they're doing that? That is what we put them in office for. It's time some of these politicians feel the rant of the people. I can't take this. I know. I don't want to take this for another 5 years. Now look what we're hearing. People getting shoot. I don't know who perpetrated that. I've been saying this for a long time, that the style of politics and the style of banditry we have here in Trinidad and Tobago is following the Jamaica plan. That is what happens in Jamaica. And it was imported here by Patrick Manning when he met our so-called great leaders down at the the big hotel down in Bryson Road there. Give them contract They're bubbling. They have nothing to eat. They have nothing to do. Give them contract without bidding. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Welcome to Politics 2020.
Good afternoon, Anne.
Hello.
You think it's a welcome? Well, Anne, I am really and truly rather dizzy because there are several things that really and truly does not hold for me. You cannot borrow $400 million from a local bank, even if it's a state-run bank, save and except you have cabinet approval. At that hour of the day, what are you taking $400 million to do? The timeline from the issuance of those contracts to the issuance of payment is rapid. And there is no way those contractors could have completed that volume of work within that period to be paid that money. And while they are paid that money, several other contractors with legitimate work all around the country are starving and begging the state to pay them. So this really and truly goes to the heart of the matter. As far as I'm concerned, if the Guardian did not lie, then Larry Hawaii, the Minister of Finance, have a lot of questions to answer
exactly.
as to why you allowed that money to be borrowed and to be paid out immediately at that time for doing what? Any quantity surveyor will tell you it is impossible for you to get that volume of work done, especially if you're not in China, within that period. And it really and truly beguiled the imagination that persons could have been hoarding off money like that, like nobody's business. And if there's anybody who wants to come here and defend something like that, well, that is where the country reached. So at the end of the day, it is incumbent upon the leader of the UNC, who was at that time leader of the UNC and the cabinet of the country and prime minister, to make an appropriate response statement in relation to the Guardian article on this matter, and even to respond to what the political leader of PNM had said on the platform in Tobago last evening. Because at the end of the day, what we are dealing with here is gravitas and the lack of it. We are dealing with people's money. We are dealing with the security of the nation state. Because at the end of the day, if you just sit away money, so what are you doing? What are you leaving for the children? So I am waiting to hear the leader of the opposition with a sober reflection on this matter as to what she knew about it. Because if you remember, Anne, when $7.2 million was paid out days after Section 34 was removed to the country to take a dead fire truck from a ditch, the leader of the Prime Minister then said she didn't know anything about it. They do not know how this thing sneaked past the cabinet. I want to know what they know, who knew what, and when.
Well, that is why it calls for a proper investigation, Eric. You would recall yesterday David Walker and I were speaking about how cabinet notes have changed from what it was to what it is now. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yes. We were speaking about the criteria for a cabinet note and how it have changed rapidly.
You mean you could just put it on the document and then
today
take
that is what they do. They are not supposed to do that.
I see.
That is not what a cabinet note is supposed to be about.
I see. So how does the
cabinet are not supposed to make decisions like that?
That loan cannot be taken unless it's an okay from the Minister
Well,
of
it had
Finance.
to be approved by the Minister of Finance.
How could Larry Hawaii approve something like that without checking with his Prime Minister?
Well, he would have to answer that.
That is almost half a...
Yes, $549 million.
It's madness on wheels.
Okay, thank you. Let's
I
take
would
another
like to
call.
hear what the leader of the opposition has to say about this.
All she have been saying is take it to the police. If you have evidence,
so that is
take
how
it
she
to the
then
police.
to
That is how
conduct-
she answers. She said
That is
take
how
it
she
to the
then to
police.
conduct office if she wins after August 10th.
Well, I
Whatever
wonder so.
half man take it to the police.
I would have expected a stronger answer as opposition leader. an accusation like this to come out and make a full statement.
You remember Life Spot?
Yes.
We have a nice good. Have a nice evening, Anna.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ann.
Hello.
It's not 549. If I see the Guardian, it says 449.
No, 549.
Yes. Okay.
I am
How
sure
much,
with my figures.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your correction. How much money did the PNM do, millions to do a feasible study? You have that information?
What feasible
And
study?
some rapid rail. You
No.
don't have that. You don't have that.
I wouldn't have that because you didn't ask me before, otherwise I would have researched it.
Okay. But you know, this investigation with this thing you see yesterday is ongoing.
Yes.
And you want Kamala to make a better announcement than that to take it to the police. She interfere with the investigation then.
No, as opposition leader, she have
She
a
cannot
right
say
to make a
anything more.
statement.
She can't say anything more than take
Why
it.
not?
Suppose she make a statement and it's wrong with the investigation.
She's not interfering with the investigation. She's the opposition leader.
And they say when
But she's a senior counsel. So
It
she would know
happened
how.
under her watch.
Yes, I know. I know it under her watch. But there is an investigation ongoing. She cannot make statement on
But
it.
she's a senior counsel, so she should know how to answer.
She would know how to
exactly,
answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope to all remember the time now is what? 3:45? And remember what
Listen,
others say?
I don't hold any parcels for
I
anybody,
hope-
you know. I'm speaking
Exactly,
facts.
yes. I only hope the time and then on this station what others say that she is a senior counsel.
Yes.
And she can make a statement. I am saying an investigation is going on. And we, this government, just last month or month before, take out $6 billion from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund to put in COVID. Nobody in the way. Go on, Eric. Where's our money,
That's
Eric?
what they get paid as opposition for. They get a salary to answer. They have to answer to the taxpayers. Hello, good afternoon.
You know, I am glad to know there are people like Eric around who will be a watchdog. But I want to take off the blinders and tell me about AV drilling. And I want you to tell me how an oil company could pay millions of dollars to a man for oil received that was never received. And how when that man, when the Mark Bus, a prime minister, would call the man to visit him as his friend. What is wrong? Eric, come on, man. Look around, look right around, take a 360. Don't go on a 90 degree. Make a 360. And while you're at that, tell me what happened to Emailgate now. Tell me what happened to that. Tell me who did what and what it was about in this country called Trinidad and Tobago. The confusion and the mayhem. And I repeat what I said before. The politics of the PNM is lies, half-truths, and innuendos. And people like Eric have put it to propagate that. Yesterday, you had a great program going on. Two high-class, great men in the field of finance. And Eric keep going, what you call about? Black who? And what? OPVs? What that had to do with discussion yesterday? That was to derail the conversation because truth is something that some people can't face. Thank you, Majan.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. I really have to say that politics has a mind of its own, a morality of its own.
Yes, indeed it does. Every day I say that.
Yeah, I appreciate. I am telling you something.
They cut the pants to suit the cloth.
Oh my God! Let me say this for Trinidad and Tobago here. There's something called tit for tat in Trinidad and Tobago. You would not believe that when you hear people describe a government or describe an opposition, you swear the other side's squeaky clean, you know, on both parties, you know. Yes, when you hear people describe that, they do this, they do that, look at what they do, look at what they do. You swear you had nothing, you have nothing in your garden to hide. You understand? It is like, it's which end is either fire or the frying pan. Which one you want to go in? The fire or the fire pan? It's not who doing the best for us to know. It's who can do who can do the least of the worst. It's not, so you're going forward in an election. What the Prime Minister mentioned here last night about changing the money, that only 3 officers in the entire country knew. I must commend him on that, because when it is, you say for the Governor General to come out and say after that $500 million was not turned back into the Treasury. 500 million. Are we? That's for real? That means
we don't know. People are saying the PNM this and the UNC that and they this. When you see the word they, you swear that everybody know what they're talking about. You know, when they call for inquiry on something and you hear the public talking, you can swear they sit down in Parliament. And like how the fellow asked me just now, if you know the cost of this and you know, just swear, give an objective opinion on the subject matter that you want to deal with. And I am saying, stop blaming and pointing fingers. Deal with the issues at hand. Let us deal with the issues. And you see that thing about how the country changed money, how we change in record time. I must applaud the government, and I have to say hats off. It must have had a reason for doing it. Corruption in our country is evaluated by the people at the top, the white-collar crime that gets locked up. If it is that you look at any state, that is what sets an example. Until the people at the top get locked up, you're locking up the wrong people at the bottom. That is how you deal with you classify dealing with corruption. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you. 636-7547, 227-5739. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much again, Miss Ann. According to you, not the caller last one, the one before. You, right there, you become a PNM, you and the next lady, there is two PNM because you talking against the yeah.
Well, I listen to some of these people and I wonder. I'm a journalist, I deal with facts.
Exactly.
If you can't accept that,
come on, man. That is what happy where we is here. Because that's why we keep singing corruption. But you know something? I have not seen a minister in the PNM have allegations hang over his head for this 5 years. I have seen. Ask them how many ministers she had moved. I remember, what the white lady name? They had to move she. They had to move the minister of what was his name? Said he on ambassador. He was the most post minister of national security. Right? Then we had Jack Warner. And don't talk about the man who did all. They had several. When you talk about integrity, and of course I tell them, post in history at Trinidad and Tobago, we have an attorney general facing criminal matters with the sidekick. And I could go back, you know. They'd want to tell about the Holloran and Privat. I see a man went to jail, a man make a case on him. Dan Raj Kanwine, remember that he went to court for killing a man called Han Sumer Singh, if I'm mistaken. And after that, they cook up a story with Falcon Can Williams. And after that, the man who bring the story, he disappeared. Them fellas win the matter. All you wake up now, man. Enjoy the evening, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. 636-7547. Good afternoon. Welcome.
And according to what you're saying is that the Minister of Finance that had to sign off on them cabinet note.
Of course, he's the Minister of Finance. He would have to approve the note.
Right, he had to approve it. So now I was asking the question, why they moved Jokaran from the Ministry of Finance? And I now understand very well. Just as well only do the last night, he busted a lot of them through it. Some of them UNC people get crazy. And tonight again, I suppose, it has some meeting or something. I can't
Tomorrow evening, yes.
Tomorrow you go bring something again. A lot of UNC people might be able to vote. They go there before they vote because you're going to be busting it. And hear what happened. All I want to know from Lolly is from 2010 to 2015 because I know when man was paving road and $1,000 to do 2 feet of road, they're charging $50,000 to do 1 foot of road. I know all them things. I know the truck them who was putting gravel. Bring 10 load of gravel there for me without a tender. I know all them things. So who want to get lost? But you see, I understand why Jokaran was moved from the Ministry of Finance and they buy Hawaii and Pukendi. And it only happened 3 months and you get 5 ministries to go and borrow $400 million for private in the bank. Then for what? When you're supposed to be calling an election, you take an extra 3 months.
Thank you. Good afternoon. We lost that caller there. Remember, you can WhatsApp us on 378-4975. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
I want to put a little pepper in the food. You see about that money that they accuse housing and all kind of stuff and ENBD?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, that came up and it was in kind of inquiry. And Larry Wise, he said, the the housing minister is the one that authorized that payment real quick. That happened so quick, nobody knew. It came up a little bit on the news, but then all of a sudden we didn't hear nothing again. And you know who money that was? That money was the cane farmers' money. When the question was put to Kamala, well, where the money for the cane farmers from the EU? I give 400 million to the planning minister, and the planning minister, when he contact he say he give it to EMBD to make access road for not the cane farmers, but the sugar workers. And Adam, after that, didn't take too long. We hear about how much money and who authorized the payment, and the contractors involved in that were 5 contractors, I think, and they were preferred contractors. Preferred is the word. And, well, what I read in the papers the other day is that these preferred contractors, they get the money real quick, they didn't do the job, and they had some kickback in it. Where is the 173 kilometers of road that money built? Where it is? Nobody could see where it is, or which part in the island it is, or what. That is what I say. People like me need the blood of these people. On the wall. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Hello. Hello. Welcome.
Good afternoon. We got a moment at a time again. I heard the last caller from Bata. I say, here, and here, nothing. Nobody from the PNM administration get charged or allegation of corruption. I think he's sleeping. That is one. And to my good friend, who called, I'm talking about, visit him again. The guy who just called from Orangefield. Eric, I think something wrong with you because this morning he come with that same argument on a frequency. And
Sir, don't come here to attack people, characters, please.
No,
I'm not attacking I will cut you off. If you have a point to make the point.
But if they're speaking on truth. They're speaking on truth because they're making statement, and when people correct them, they're not talking the truth. You understand? And people chastising them. So you're coming to the station now, and you're doing the same thing.
I give everybody a fair chance to make their point.
Yeah, but I don't see between
it is not unfair. Make your point. What is your point?
All I'm simply saying that the PNM administration currently right now have so much allegation of corruption with the MPs and ministers and them. And today I hear people saying that they have no allegation and no corruption under PNM. I think somebody is sleeping. Thank you.
Well, nobody on the station said that there was no allegation of corruption under the PNM. Nicole, you recall I went back to Uttara Rao, the untouchable Uttara Rao, who was under the Manning regime, who had destroyed farmers and Ravin Sable and all of that under the EMBD. I indicated all of that. Apparently, you are not listening, Mr. Bank Village. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Anne, can I make another comment?
Quickly.
That whole thing about corruption, I remember Marlene McDonald. You remember Marlene? All right, so we'll just leave that right here because I'm a sister too and I support women. So we will leave that poor woman alone. Let me just talk something about the Prime Minister. Let me tell you something. Fuad Abu Bakr is a good person and he told the truth what the Prime Minister did. The Prime Minister did approach them. And Jack Warner did tell the truth about how his relationship with the Prime Minister at that house and they were talking about deals. That is how deals are made. They're either made in the golf course or in the privacy of a rich man's home or, something you religiously and you do this little thing. The Prime Minister knows how to play this game. He spent his entire whole life in politics. It's a showcase for him. You know what their motto is? We will do the job and we will win the race. It is a race. It's an athletic race to make money.
It's a puppy show. It's a puppy show.
It's a puppy show, man. Come on, man. 40 years now. And look at these schools we have. You ever go to Mukarapo and some of them public schools? Bullet holes in the school. Windows break up. Children abused with legs bleeding and they're still going to school and the principal will never report child abuse in this country. I was at a United Nations meeting, Anna Tunapuna Piako. The government got $4 million to help with domestic violence from the United Nations, funded by the EU. Will that ever reach your village? Will that ever reach a woman who is in trouble right now? But we're working with the police. You know, Ms. Kamala Bissassa said the right thing. She said, if there's any allegations, take it to the police. What? Take it to the police. If you don't go to the police, you have nothing to show. Seriously. And what do we find out today in the news? The police is human trafficking, all you. Let me tell all you something. It's a catch-22, you know. We fight in domestic violence, but then we have human trafficking coming in from Venezuela. And then we see this prime minister who has lost in an ideology. He doesn't know what the definition of democracy means. And you have people like Faria who runs big chambers and have their arms around the monopoly, cowering down to the prime minister and refusing to people and saying, free speech, we have to stand up. We are going to become Africanized. It's called Africanization. And they say that, and these are what first world countries say. They say when you become Africanized, Africanization, it's like a sub-Sahara country. It has nothing to do with race. It's a police military state. And he said the United States and Europe, they're saying that what's happening in the Caribbean is unlike the normalcy where you have peace and tranquility and harmony, good music, good festivals, good trade. But look at Venezuela, look at Guyana, and look what's happening in Trinidad. They are chipping away at democracy. And I do believe that Ms. Kamala Bissassa has no right to apologize to nobody. Let them file a report and let us see if democracy really works in this country. You wait 5 years now to bring this stuff up? That is so stupid. Wake up, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you. We're heading up to the 4 p.m. newscast with Irma Ratan Singh. Just after would be Politics 2020, but let us squeeze in this last call quickly. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I want to change the conversation a little bit.
You have just a minute, do quickly.
UNC against your station? I hear them advertising all over the place.
Oh,
how come they're advertising your station?
They will have to answer that.
No, but I want you to ask Bank Village, Brian Bake that. Strong UNC supporters. Let them ask the UNC
of course,
party
why
people,
they are not advertising with us.
And if I was you, promote all the PNM candidates.
Well, I'm a journalist and I promote everyone. I speak the facts, and the UNC supporters, they get upset with me because I speak the facts. I don't speak without doing proper research.
Both of your salaries are being paid by the advertisements being sponsored by the People's National Movement. Take care.
Thank you. We're heading up to the 4 p.m. newscast. You can call me back on Politics 2020 just after the 4 p.m. news.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is Major News to 4 p.m. on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Irma Ratan Singh. Good afternoon. There has been a significant improvement in the detection rate in murders for 2020. This has been by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in a media conference earlier today. Deputy Commissioner of Police MacDonald Jacob gave that statistics.
47 murders less than last year. We continue with that improvement, and I want to juggle your memory in relation to some of these murders. I think we remember the double murder in the Central Division on the 18th of May, where the couple, Kenneth Macan, and his wife were killed. Also, the quadruple murder in Princeton that occurred on the 25th of May, the double murder that occurred in Tobago with Kelston James and Kenwin James in Tobago. This in fact occurred on the 5th of June. Also, the kidnapping, which was originally a kidnapping for ransom and resulted in the murder of Kunj Bihari Jaisir, which occurred again on the 4th of June 2020.
DCP Jacob said this is due to the new approach taken by the police service. He said when compared to the same period last year, the number of murders is lower.
A few weeks ago, when I spoke to you all, I mentioned the actual implementation of the new approach, investigative approach, or what we are using in relation to dealing with the investigation of murders. This coordinated approach, we took in consideration the 48 hours requirements to ensure that all our technical team, our scientific and also our technological personnel work together as a team.
Health Minister Terence Dayal Singh says bar owners and restaurant owners should implement a last call system at their establishments. This comes as the government reverted to the 10 p.m. closing times for bars. The minister was speaking at today's virtual media briefing.
The reason for doing this, in talking with the Minister of National Security, who will be in contact with the Commissioner of Police, is that we would like these eating establishments and bars to be empty of patrons by 10 p.m. That is the objective, so that you could close at 10 p.m. and be free of patrons. Patrons.
Independent candidate for Chaguanas East, Shiraz Khan said the constituency has been neglected by the People's National Movement and the United National Congress. He was speaking exclusively to U97.5 this morning about his intentions to enter the race.
Chaguanas East has been neglected by both the PNM before 2010 had won the election twice, and then after that the UNC had won twice. But the community remains the same. As I said, the destruction that UNC did in 2011 to that enterprise community of that street, bulldozing almost 200 acres of land, destroying 20 people's lives.
Mr. Khan said one issue facing the constituency is the water situation.
Because we suffer for water, it's water. Like some people in that area get water like and no water 1 day or 2 days to the week. That have to be invested into water tanks and pumps and so on. That is something overall. And then UNC campaign is water for all by 2020 or something like that. It never happened. 2020 come and go in and we still have water for all. Right? The Prime Minister could blame all he wants to work with his neglect to the community is far and wide and clear that even Rachel to see how he has neglected people. He can't blame people for his inefficiencies or his ministry.
Investigations are continuing into the shooting of radio announcer Andy Williams. Williams was shot 4 times at his home in Edinburgh 500 Chaguanas. The incident took place at around 5:45 this morning. Williams told police he was in the driveway to his home when he was confronted by 2 men. The men pulled out firearms and shot at him. Williams attempted to run to safety but was shot in his back and arm. The gunmen then fled the scene. Relatives who heard the commotion came outside and found Williams bleeding from multiple wounds. The police were notified and the injured man was rushed to the Chaguanas District Hospital for treatment. A coronavirus vaccine developed by the University of Oxford has tested safe and effective in triggering an immune response to the virus. The trials involved 1,077 people. They showed that the vaccine led to individuals making antibodies and T cells that can fight COVID-19. The vaccine is made from a genetically engineered virus that causes the common cold in chimpanzees. However, it has been heavily modified to not cause infections in people and also to look more like COVID-19. This resemblance to the coronavirus means that the immune system can learn how to attack it. The vaccine now has to undergo trials to prove that it can prevent people from getting ill or reducing the symptoms of COVID-19. Regionally in Aruba, as active cases of COVID-19 increases to 10 with 2 new cases, both cases are tourists who were tested upon arrival at the airport. The total positive cases to date is 113 and the total recovered is 100. The number of quarantine patients has risen by 2 to 27,330, including visitors, and have been tested since yesterday, with the total person tested to date at 4,977. There have been 3 deaths confirmed in Aruba related to COVID-19. Internationally, European Union talks aimed at reaching an agreement on a huge post-coronavirus recovery fund have stretched into a 4th day, but there are signs of progress. Germany and France said a framework had now been sketched during a summit in Brussels that has been testy exchanges. We hear more in this BBC report.
Look to be at a place where there might be a deal this afternoon. There's some white smoke suggested from the Austrian camp. The Chancellor Sebastian Kurz saying he's happy that it's come to an end and that he is positive that there could be a deal later. I think it's also possibly unofficially becoming known as the Stiff Leg Summit. It's become this Dutch term that Mark Rutte, the Prime Minister, used on the way in, talking about, in Dutch, het been stijf houden, which means I'm keeping the stiff leg, I'm sticking to my guns. And really, this has gone the way, so far, of the Frugal Four, plus Finland, in keeping the grants down.
And on to the weather forecast. This afternoon will experience partly cloudy conditions with scattered showers and a medium chance of heavy showers and thunderstorms favoring the afternoon and evening. Conditions will gradually improve towards midnight. Gusty winds and street flooding may be experienced in the event of a heavy shower and thunderstorm. Maximum temperature is 33 degrees. Sunset at 6:31 p.m. And that brings us to the end of the news to 4 p.m. on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us again at 6 p.m. for more news. I am Irma Rattensing. Good afternoon.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canoopia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BT Sino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canoopia.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Carry Care International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rosha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Now the election back and I'll die away. In short, this is what I have to say. Let us forget spites and grudges and concentrate. Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah. Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So much of things that we need to see about. Surely I do have to spell them out. Cause you know as well as I do, the only way is put in more effort and less play. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This also goes for every Trinbagonian who gone to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Minutes after the top of the hour on Politics 2020. Welcome back, listeners, and to all our viewers on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome back to Politics 2020, where you can call in on 636-7547, 227-5739. But before we speak to this caller, Nicole, do you know, by the way, if Inchan Ishmael had filed his nomination papers? I find he have been awfully quiet these days. Hold a minute, caller.
Well, according to the EBC, there are 150 candidates who will be contesting the elections. However, Mr. Inchan Ishmael is not one of them. And I've actually seen an article here where he's saying that faith and family
comes before politics. He now realized that. Let's hear the caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon again.
Yes.
And I hear that there has been no allegations against certain people, and I want to assure the national community. The allegations made against somebody who, it is said, paid off a sum of money for a young lady because of indiscretion. Those allegations were not levied against me. Next thing, Mr. Eric is sitting cumbersome on firing people from cabinet. And I know that's hard for PNM to accept. For a prime minister to say alleged wrongdoing cannot be accommodated by cabinet, PNM can understand that, After 30 years of PNM corruption and 30 years of fleas in this country, 3 stalwarts in the persons of A.N.R. Robinson, Carl Hudson Phillips, and the man who became the Attorney General of this country, came out of the PNM and said, God, we can't take this corruption no more. It hurts the belly. And defeated the PNM at a point where they had 26 seats and relegated them to 3 seats in the opposition. That is PNM. 30 years of corruption where Carlton Phillips, Anna Robinson, and the then, I can't remember his name, decided that is enough. And these were stalwarts in the PNM, deputy political leader, man who bring the rules, the laws, the Attorney General. What is going on in this people's place? They'll forget, short memory. Thank you. Listen.
Thank you. 636-7547-227-5739. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon again. I must say
That song that you have just played there, I nearly cried.
Really?
Nearly cried. What I mean is...
Let us build a nation together.
Only because the tears was right there in my eyes. Because I drive, do you understand? It did something. It carried back to a certain point in time. But I'm so proud to be a Trinidadian. I just say that's point number one, right? Point number two. Gary Griffith, I'm calling out Mr. Gary Griffith. The public relations officer of the police service made a report and said that they were successful in reducing the crime rate from X figure last year to X figure this year. And I want to say to the police service, where I understand your intention, sir, that you are fundamentally wrong. Because if the crime rate was last year was 547 murders, or like you said, of this time last year, there was X amount, let's say 300 murders, right? And this year now you had 290 murders, 10 less. You didn't plan to have a murder. There is not a murder is something that where you react to. What I want to hear the police service say is we stop. You know that like that show with Tom Cruise, where they used to see the vision before and stop the murder before it happened, right? That is what I want to hear. The investigations that you have done, that where you save X amount of lives because of good policing, because of that. Not that we have less murders and we round up criminals that criminals to shoot, and criminals stop running, stop going behind, stop killing criminals. You understand? I say we reach a point now that you're patting it on the back for something that you did not do, or tell us what it is you do to make that, to bring down the figure like that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. 636-7547-227-5739. Nicole, so Inchan is not going up again.
No, he will not be going up.
So that's one less. Yes, one less fight for the United National Congress. I wonder if he would be partnering with the UNC or the PNM as an individual.
That is very interesting. That's something you can take note of, because it's either that or he just stays out of it.
Stay out completely. Do you think Inshan can keep his mouth shut?
No.
Yes. So we have Nikolai Edwards of the People's Party, the Progressive Party, rather. I was supposed to call him. I'll call him shortly to do an interview and see if he's available.
Yes. So, and while we're talking about while we're trying to get Nikolai on the line, today the Bar Owners Association would have had their matter in the courts against the health minister, and seen a report here just released that they would have withdrawn their matter, and I think of course it stems from the decision taken by the government to give them back the extra 2 hours that were taken away from them a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. Yes. So and also coming out of today's media conference, and this one is very, very interesting, is the health minister. He keeps reminding political parties that they need to adhere to the public health regulations and limit their gatherings, and persons should wear masks. However, and I know you've been looking on, and we have all been looking on, and we have not been seeing that happening just yet. People are still without masks. People are
still gathering in numbers, particularly in bars and so on.
Yes.
But we have on the line from the Progressive Party, Mr. Nikolai Edwards. Good afternoon, Nikolai.
Hi, good afternoon.
Are you on the campaign trail in San Fernando West?
Yes, I am actually. I'm on Superior Street right now.
Oh, okay.
What's happening in Superior Street, Nikolai?
Well, we actually now are hanging up a banner at a business place here, because many persons are actually very, very receptive to our message and want to support. So they're finding various ways of supporting the campaign. And a simple thing as putting a banner outside of your business place, I mean, that goes a long way. So we were just in Green Acres, and for anyone who knows where that is, it's very close to Gulf City, that area there. So we're now just dropping off some banners, tying those things up and pushing forward.
Just for clarification of the listening public out there, is it one seat that your party is fighting?
Yeah, we had sent out a media release detailing the fact that resources, the timeline, a number of factors would have caused us to not be able to present a full slate. We were trying initially, afterwards for 5. And then it was just determined that we best put all our resources behind one seat because we don't have much.
Right.
So this for us makes the most sense right now.
And how do you feel standing up against the Attorney General?
And it matters not if he's the Attorney General or if he is an average person. For me, it's all about the fight for better for San Fernando West. And that is where my headspace is. How can we get better for San Fernando West? How can we ensure that the people of this constituency are able to be represented well?
What plans would you like to see for San Fernando West that was not implemented by the PNM?
The list is a very long one. What I would say is that I am the only candidate right now who has actually presented a plan. It's literally called a simple plan, and simple standing for an acronym. This is the approach that I'm taking is a very people-centered one. What we are seeing in these past couple of days and weeks from the PNM in San Fernando West is a rush to have all of these mega projects. You're seeing road paving, you're seeing sod turning, and it's so much sod turning in these past couple of days. I want to know if some people just wanted to be a grave digger.
San Fernando have a shortage of shovels then,
well,
right now.
I wonder. But what I want to see more than anything is a better representation of the issues being facing people. So we have committed, the Progressive Party and myself, to establishing a virtual political office. Something that I don't understand why the current nor former MPs have thought about, but constituents should be able to sit at the comfort of their home or wherever they are and lodge a concern or a complaint with the MP's office. You receive an electronic ticket number or reference number, and you're able to online track the progress of your complaint or concern. And this is something I think will be more effective. It's a client management system, and this would really and truly ensure that persons are able to have their issues dealt with in a timely manner. And beyond that, we have to figure out, and I have a lot of ideas, but how are we going to lift people out of poverty in San Fernando West? Because in as much as we see all of this development taking place, many persons are either out of a job, they are not able to put food on the table, they have not had the opportunity to upskill themselves. So one of the things, entrepreneurship, that is one of the ways we can move people out of poverty. In San Fernando West, we have the haves and we have the have-nots. So we can bring those groups to the table and see where venture capitalists are willing to support those who are budding entrepreneurs. I think as an MP, I can facilitate that.
If you are not successful as an MP, would you continue the work that you have started?
Yeah, of course, because it is for the people of San Fernando West, and I think that it will be a disservice to them for me to simply walk away from the election feeling defeated, feeling as though I've not been able to enjoy the kind of success, and more or less that I think that knowing myself, I just can't live with that. So I will be pushing forward, working regardless of the outcome.
Nikolai, what about your allegiance with other parties? I know that there was some discussion some time ago for you all to
Better United.
Yes, Better United. What is the update on that?
Well, I know Better United. I think right now it's just really down to the COP and DPTT. So those two parties, and DPTT is Steve Alvarez representing, running for Baruga Tableland there. But essentially, our discussions with other political parties, what I have found, and especially as a young person who has been willing to have discussions with other parties to work with them and stuff, this whole thing is, and I hope I can say this on air, but it seems to be a pissing contest. to see, well, hey, you're stroking this one's ego and that one. And many a times discussions have broken down. And we here are just simply saying, let us get on with the program. We have recognized where we can work together, where our ideologies intersect. But, you know, this whole thing about who needs to be the leader and who needs to do this, that, and the other. And we are saying that we don't have time for that. We have an election, we have people to represent, and we don't have time for the games. So as it stands right now, the Progressive Party, for the most part, is standing alone. We have recognized that there are candidates in other parties who are worthy of our support, and we will lend them our support where possible. But to save a formal alliance with other political parties, it just does not seem practical at this point.
Okay, so as the days go by, are you in any way worried or feel threatened by the fact that, I mean, you are the only candidate representing your party, and there are other, according to the ABC, 19 other parties. Do you feel in any way threatened or worried by this?
No, not at all. I am encouraged by it because I think, and I've been pushing this message very strongly, that our parliament needs to be diversified. We need as many voices in that parliament as possible, representing various parties. For us, it's not even a situation where going into it, we would have just wanted to have all 41 seats in the parliament. I mean, of course, it can get a lot done, but we have to always have an opposition. We also have to have other voices to ensure that we get the best legislation possible. So I am glad to see that 19 parties are putting forward in total 150 candidates. And we know that it's for San Fernando West, it just has to go blue, because we have a great chance here in this constituency. And I say all the time that if Paris loses and Sean Sobers loses, and I hope they do, because I mean that's the only way I will get in, they are still going to get seats in the Senate based on how many seats their party gets. If I lose this election, I have to wait 5 years to run again for a general election, and the voices whom I represent will go unrepresented in the parliament. So it's a situation where it's very crucial that we are successful in this election.
Okay, so in the coming days, as we get closer to the election 2020, what can we see coming from you? Are you going to be stepping up, and when do you plan to step up your campaign, and what different can we see coming from you in the coming days?
Sure. Well, for one, I think that I'm already in high gear. When you think about the amount of interviews we have done and are still scheduled for the next coming days, we are on the ground every single day. We are speaking to persons. I don't know what more we could potentially do, but rather to just simply sustain a debate is something that we need to see among all of the candidates. And I want to say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to your listeners right now, we need to demand a debate, a public debate from our candidates, because these are the individuals who are proposing to represent you. And if you are not able to hear them and their views side by side with other views, then you might very well be buying cat in bag, as we see. So we really need a public debate or public debates among the various constituencies, and that is something that I'm willing to champion.
Okay, Nikolai, you said a public debate, and it's something that you have issued the call for. Has anybody reached out to you with regards to that? Any candidates, any political leaders, any one of them?
No, well, I have had, so for instance, Caroline Beecher, and she has also been calling for that, and we have had discussions on that. Philip Edward Alexander from the PEP, he has also been calling for debates. So there is an appetite for debates, but the reason why the PNM and the UNC will not be debate is because candidates can potentially show up their flaws. You have many persons who it might very well be easy for them to stand up in a parliamentary debate, but if they have to stand in a debate that you get to challenge one another, you get to rebut and all of this, not in a parliamentary style, they will flop. And I think that the population needs to know how can you debate, how can you defend or present legislation through proper debate before you get in there. So we're hoping that good sense will prevail. We're hoping that Faris doesn't see himself as being too big for a debate, nor Sean Sobers, and let's get it going.
Okay, so some time ago you mentioned that you had a manifesto. Tell me, just enlighten us a little bit again about the manifesto, and tell me how persons on the ground have been responding to that manifesto.
Sure. So the manifesto, we call it a simple plan, SIMPLE. S is for social development, I, infrastructural revitalization, M, modern technology, P, promotion of culture and sport, L, legislative participation, and E, economic stimulation. This is a roadmap as to how we are going to transform San Fernando West, and it does not require too much funding from central government to achieve these things. Persons have been responding very positively to the plan, because even in that, I highlight what is the role and function of an MP. If you Google what is the role and function of an MP in Trinidad and Tobago, you will not find anything, even except probably an article from Hamid Ghani, Dr. Hamid Ghani. But there is nothing in our legislation or our national policy that speaks to what an MP does. Many persons listening right now maybe don't even know that an MP's office does not receive a budget. So salaries are paid for directly by the Parliament, office supplies are bought by the Parliament, but an MP does not even have money to host a town hall meeting. This is why many MPs hope that their party gets in government, because they will use the resources of the various ministries to push forward their agenda. It's high time that we put forward constituency budgets. If each constituency is to even get, let's say, as little as $1 million annually, that can go a long way. It can ensure that there are town hall meetings, that there are programs in the constituencies, and this is something that we need to see happen.
Okay. Nikolai, my final question to you. You've been on the ground, you've been through San Fernando West, and you would have been in contact with, and you would have met and spoken to business owners in particular. And you know, sometimes business owners tend to be a little more difficult to deal with. What is the type of response you as a young person approaching these business owners, what type of response have you been able to receive from them?
So I can tell you from business owners, up to last night, I've been getting messages from certain business owners saying that, asking for our bank information and so forth to invest, to donate rather. And that to me is very encouraging. Now, I think that business in San Fernando, when we look at business in San Fernando, a lot of businesses leaving the city. You drive around and you see a lot of for sale or for rent signs. So that is indicative of the fact that business is closing, and this was happening before COVID-19 occurred. So they are welcoming something different. They do not feel that many of the policies right now by the government are encouraging or stimulating business, not just in San Fernando, but across the country as a whole. So my plan, one of the items, seeks economic stimulation. And when I presented that, I've even spoken to persons of the Greater San Fernando Chamber, which is the business chamber in San Fernando. And they have listened to my plans, and they feel as though I have a solid plan. So that for me is encouraging, and they are opening up their minds. Of course, I would have loved to get more funding than what we're getting right now, but it is what it is, and we are pushing forward.
Okay, Nikolai, I want to thank you. Anne, is there anything else you want to add?
No, Nikolai, wish you all the best, and continue keeping up the fight.
Will do. Thank you.
Don't be a stranger to us.
No, I won't.
That is Nikolai Edwards, the head of the Progressive Party, and he is contesting only the San Fernando West seat. Yes. Let's hear this caller. Hello, good afternoon.
What do I do there? No Anne there. I hear voice.
Anne and Nicole.
Good evening, Miss Nicole. How are you?
Good evening. I am good. How are you?
I'm now locked on. I was doing some work in the yard. There was some people in my yard. I'm now locked in here. So
okay.
I'm now getting Anne Nikolai Edwards. But what is I haven't seen so far, right, any MP, any part of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I think as an MP, I'm an MP. First thing I do, the first place you're supposed to know, have a database of all your schools, preschool, primary. You're supposed to know many schools in the constituency, old age home, daycares. Because at the end of the day, everybody comes from a daycare and a home and a school. And I mean a school, right, in order. So primary, you have the pastoral school. So at the end of the day, that is my basic data. And from these schools, I mean, as a matter of fact, I suppose to have regular meetings with my primary schools every so often in my constituency. Even I can't meet everybody about at least one representative of each school, at least once every time I go whole meeting, know I'm going to miss school, and all this sort of thing, right? And from that kind of connect now, once you connect with the school, you connect with the home automatically, you know, and the constituency by extension. You know? Understand? Mm-hmm. And I know that kind of, you know, what is that kind of connect on the ground with the new sort of MPs that we have. Yeah, maybe like Hello, are there?
Yes, you are on. We are listening to you.
Maybe they may have, maybe, this morning I was thinking of something, and I went on Kermit program. I said, like, sometime on these talks, like, some of us on these talks, right, maybe we might have to forward some ideas, some suggestions to some of these MPs and something, because, like they had to be so hot, like, the car think of, instead of just, when I'm talking, I think, like, we had to form some groups and kind of suggest some suggestions and what we'd like to see in the community, so they can kind of work towards it, because every year we change, we change this MP, put this MP, and like, it is same non-connect with the community. For some reason, like, a connection with the MP and the councillors and the community.
There's always a disconnect between the Member of Parliament and the constituents after election. That have always been so.
Yeah, because I think, like, some of these MPs are going back for a second time. Campaign at all.
Second, third, and fourth times.
You say, and you are like, I do my campaign, man. And people just say, hey, Mr. Rostam Parry in Mayaro, at least I can vouch for him. He don't have to do much talking campaign. He was always on the ground. And,
you're seeing him on the ground, but how many MPs are like him?
Right. So he don't have the campaign ready.
Because he has been campaigning for the last 5 years.
I don't know if the MP thing like this we need to connect more because, you see, after this election, whoever wins, I think...
Listen, they lose touch with their focus. And
we have to start to focus, and I think even the constituencies where do have MPs, they're supposed to have some shadow, not shadow MP on paper, somebody who actually work in the community, who can work with the other MP. So the people are trying to begin, and at the end of the day, they just pass on, and then we, our children and grandchildren, then abstain and live in the community. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Let me just give an update here. According to the Johns Hopkins University of the corona deaths, so far the deaths globally is 608,420. I'm seeing, Nicole, in California alone, there are over 6,800 cases alone for today.
Yes.
For today, it's out of control as the cases continue to surge.
They want to open our borders.
And in the United States alone, there are 140,811 deaths.
Yes.
Those are not my figures. They are according to the Johns Hopkins University. They're on the brink in California on another stay-at-home order. And here we are calling for our borders to be opened.
Yes.
Where would that put us?
Yes.
If the borders are open. Election or no election, your lives and safety should come first.
That's right.
It's 4:41. You can continue to call in 636-7547 or 227-5739 if you wish to get in on Politics 2020. If not, we'll take a short commercial break and we will be right back.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
So guys, the party continues this Saturday. Yes, this Saturday, the Hot Like Pepper Reloaded continues from 8 to 12 noon. Sharon Baru alongside DJ Vishal, 12 noon to 3 p.m. The captain takes full flight. Yes, Captain Kendall Juggernaut from 12 noon to 3 p.m. From 3 to 7 p.m. DJ Anil is in with the Hot Like Pepper mix. And from 7 to 1 a.m. the man Corky D is in the building and will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com for the Hot Like Pepper Saturdays Reloaded.
It's Yummy Tummy Time with Ermi. Join me Mondays to Fridays at 9:30 a.m. and get tasty and exciting recipes. Learn to create dishes and much more right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Yummy Tummy with Ermi.
I have journeyed
Greeting in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, Jesus is the answer.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is a PNM power. PNM, a positive healing power. PNM, moving forward together. PNM, introducing Rishi, my brother.
All of we is one family. All of we is one family. Working together to build this country. When the world was breaking, everyone agreed. When the world was breaking, we happy it was seen. And that is why we voted for our country.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
"15 minutes before the top of the hour. Welcome back to Politics 2020, listeners. Nicole, I see you're looking at your one of your candidates for the area of St. Augustine.
Yes.
Walking along. That's Khadija Amin.
Yes, she's in the Orapun area today.
Mm-hmm. Well, what developments have you seen in Orapun for the last 5 years?
Well,
you are the best person to answer that.
Well. So for the parts where I live, nothing really. Further down where you have the flooding situation, I believe the river was dredged.
Yes.
The Trinity River, yeah. But other than that, nothing really to say, Oh, we got a police post. Yes, we did.
You did?
Yes. But it's
the area is more secure now then?
Well, to an extent. Because the police post is not where it's very far from where I live. Literally.
Greenvale would have fallen within that constituency.
No. Greenvale falls under La Hoqueta Tal Paro.
Yes. Okay, right.
Yes.
But dredging of the river would affect you.
But even if the river is dredged, the thing is with Orapun, the way that the housing
development
area was built, it's poor drainage that leads to flooding, and when the river overflows, it makes it worse. But
that's where we come back to planning and development.
Yes.
And I keep indicating that there is no planning with development. They want to put a housing development in a particular area, and bam, they just like a Lego set. You just drop it. And there's no planning, no development. It is the same thing that have happened down in South when Mr. Manning had down by the link up there, that housing development.
Taruba?
Yeah, Taruba.
Yes.
Tarodale. And it was not planned.
Yes. So
and government come and government go. people think that I only condemn what the UNC have done,
many-
but government come and government go, they do the same thing.
Yes.
There's unplanned housing development, and that is a major part
In
of
our case,
problem.
in our case, there we only have one access road. If you don't use that
So
road,
if you have an emergency
it's
and the
one
road
way-
is not passable,
Well, I really don't know what's going to happen because, like I said, one access road, one way in, one way out. There is no way that you can come out of there unless
all
you-
of these things
if you're
comes under
walking-
planning and
yes.
development, safety,
Yes, yes, for sure.
right? Fire safety,
Mhm.
you're supposed to have all of that.
Yeah.
in
And then,
a-
of course, we also have water problems just like everybody else.
Is it the UNC people turning off your taps?
Well,
I don't know. The Prime Minister, he had made that statement in a speech 2 days ago.
Yes, yes.
He said that the UNC people are turning off the taps on the East-West corridor.
prior to election, we always had that issue, so.
Let's hear this caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And this housing thing is that unplanned thing, you know. Is a plan. You look at these foothills of the Northern Range, the most fertile land in the country. What do you have there? Housing development. Good place for backyard gardening. The lands that you're supposed to, how we call it in this country, to have things going forward, you're putting houses there. And savanna lands, unproductive lands, you want to put people to work on those lands and say, now agriculture is by design. Some kind of something in somebody's brain that work different to the way things supposed to happen, and we go along with it. We don't have a problem, we go along with it all the time. South, north, central, the same thing happening all the time. Let me tell you something. The lands and the foothills are already, take Diego Martin.
Yes.
The most fertile land in the country. The most fertile land, but go inside there and see what you see. Housing, industries, nothing but agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you. 636-7547-2275739. Nicole, when I say unplanned housing development,
Yes.
I say that if you have to have a housing development, they must pass certain criteria.
That's right.
Right? Which will be passed by the tenders board, which will be passed by, we have a Ministry of Housing and Development. You can't just haphazardly put a housing development anywhere you feel like it. Look, in your case, there's no access.
No,
If you
just
have an
one access
emergency,
road.
and if that one road is blocked, what would
Mhm,
happen to the residents there? Let's hear this caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
When we're talking about planning and roads and all that of stuff, I draw a reference to that 500 million that was given to the planning minister to build some roads. And the money disappeared. And they said they had 173 kilometers of road built by 5 preferred contractors. We really have no planning. They take the money and they say, right, come on, boys, they have some of the money here. Let me see how we can dish it up quick. And we go hide. We're going to hide what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to hide it. I can understand this. Really no planning whatsoever. And somebody say, when the rainfall on the hills and all that fertile soil come down like all down Baruka and all of this, those places, any government with foresight, they would have agriculture up in that end. But no. Hey, look, we have to win this election down there. We're going to build about 3,000 apartments and send them down there. They don't care. And people, I will tell you this, people don't want to go far from the city to live, you know. They want to open the door and they're right in the middle of everything. Hence, that is why you see a lot of people like to lime on corners and all kinds of things. They want to mark what the other people doing. And that is our problem. Nope, we have nobody to answer to. They could do what they want to. And you see, we having a new crop. Politician going to get elected. All them eyes on the budget. The government don't care nothing, you know. They care nothing. Every politician, whether it be opposition or whether it be government, boy, so many billions, so many billions we have to spend. thief as much as you can and give the people a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Look, I'm seeing the Ministry of Planning, Nicole. They
Yes.
have 7 billion fund ready for the Green Fund. You would have heard about the Green Fund in the Ministry of Planning. They have 27 projects up. Now that the elections is upon us. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Yes.
I was just here talking about Orokun, right?
Yes.
And let me tell you something, Orokun, I live in Orokun.
Okay.
And when the first government was there, we used to get the land clean. All the savannah used to be clean. You got an empty piece of land on the highway, always clean, the river always clean. Garbage always picking up. Since this government take over, I'm not in politics, but since they take over, everything remain the same way.
When you say it remain the same way, what do you mean by that? When you say it remain the same way, what do you mean by that?
I know what you know.
You said it, everything remain the same way. Explain that. What do you mean by that?
What I say, since this government take over, everything just, I said wrong just now. It's not, we're not supposed to do because garbage remaining on the side, the garbage bin
You don't
overflow.
get regular garbage collection.
Yes. And the place is not cutting. Only what it was, they cut it now because election, they cut the savannah.
Or do you all have a constituency group or a village or did you complain to your corporation?
There are numerous groups.
I can't tell you because...
And what do
Is
they
it
do
wrong,
about it?
I can't tell you because even when this COVID, they never come around when we area here and give much as a pin. Not even much as a pin, we never see nobody.
Actually,
only Saturday we see PNM people come and making us a whole noise and they go on back.
Actually, the councillor for the area did distribute hampers within the Orupun area. If you were following him on social media, you would have seen where he was in Orupun a
What
couple
name
times.
is that?
Richard
We did.
Rampasad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, we never see nobody never come on we side, you know. We on the 5th Avenue.
You're on 5th Avenue?
We on the 5th Avenue. We never get nothing.
Okay.
We never get nothing. I'm telling you. I ain't lying. I'm telling you. We never see nobody.
Okay. But he was in the area because if you like I said, if you go through his social media, you would have seen where he visited several homes within the community.
Well, he maybe was on the boulevard on the circular side.
I can't say exactly where, but like I said, you can see it if you look through his social media.
Okay, well, he was not we side, honey. We never get nothing.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
636-7547 2275739. If you want to get in before the top of the hour. Do you live in Orupun, St. Augustine? Anywhere along the east-west corridor? Are you suffering for water problems these days? Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Politicians. Man, you see them all. You see, I live here in Macalester, Madrid. Man, you see, you're hearing music, you're hearing all kind of things. What they would deliver. They never do nothing here. This roads and stuff, thanks to the opposition rep, David Lee, he got some work done here on this thing. And when I spoke to him, congratulated him, he said, boy, trying to get this thing fixed was like pulling teeth. Why we giving people paying taxes to fix a road, give me water? That's the two most important things because TNTech, they're pretty okay now. But why they taking we money and doing all kind of things with except now they're going to start all these projects. They could ever finish it before election date? Huh? All that we like white elephants all over the place. And believe me, PNM have done a lot. And if another party win, they won't go to finish what the PNM started, so the gas, the infrastructure is down already. No, we going to do we own thing. We contractors have to make money too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Listeners, it's the top of the hour. Let's take a short commercial break. And when we come back, lots more on Politics 2020.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you. Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
I have journeyed.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, Jesus is the answer.
This is Samaru Ramru inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline, Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Trinidad, tell me what scene you on. Do you just like political confusion? You criticizing the way you live, yet you can't produce an alternative. You say you against the power structure, you ain't like the opposition either. But take care, you jump out the hot water and end up in the center of the fire. Because you refuse to vote in election, but then you want revolution. strongly against communism. You walk out on colonialism. You say Eric William had to go, but who to replace him? UNO. So to make a long story short from in front, Trinidadians they really know what they want. My friend, if you don't want democracy, the opposite is guerrilla activity. If you don't want democratic improvement, you have to want a revolutionist government. And yet when Guy Harewood went in the hills with Jennifer Jones, you let them get killed. All you're doing is grinning and skylarking. You come like the ass in the lion's skin, because you say Robinson is a traitor. You say what's than that about Granger. You say Kamal seeking his own interest. You call Millet a Marxist Leninist. You are ODAC, neither DLP, and you say DNM is only ratchet. Well, you tying up yourself. I gonna tell you why. Trinidadians just like plenty mama guy. Afro-Trinidadian talking black power. It's not wrong for a man to love his culture. Yes, you walk around with your Afro plait and you're dragging alpagat and patsapat. But although they're rapping about Africa, you're eating roti like if you're born in India. So who you gonna blame when you make your book and end up like a cat on a hunting roof? Because you say you're going Afro all the way. Let you smile when they bring in Tony May. William say he want to retire. You beg him to stay a little longer. You reject Carl's act on public order. Now you want it same Carl for Prime Minister. Like your sense of reasoning goes and comes. It won't surprise me if you call back Albert Gumbs. You say that you didn't want no dictator, yet you want one fella to reign forever. Abbott El Malik, you say he guilty. Parmasadi the same, yet you set him free. Long ago you didn't want Fidel Castro, but now you say the same Castro is a hero. Well, this attitude, like Humpty Dumpty, you might fall off the wall eventually. Because you say Butler was too high-handed, even Maraj uneducated. You say that we can't trust Jamada. You find Sukaran to Konkosa. You say the accent is on the young man, yet you run and call back Ashford Sinanan. But you won't call back until you call disaster, like the colonial days of the slave master. Indian, Trinidadian, naive as ever. That is why they formed the Mahasabha. They're conservative, only talking race. Yet you see so much Dogla all around the place. They say they just need pork for them. How come them and black pudding is such good friend? You're making your own self a puppet show. you might end up just like Rumpelstiltskin. You call Bad Solomon a Bajan, yet spending your money in London. You say the country's ace-crime fighter is a regular ganja smoker. You call your picture a seditious traitor. Now that same traitor is a union leader. It won't surprise me if you move Malik from death row and make him minister of home affairs tomorrow. Trinidadian, walking, talking peace. Yes, he always in trouble with the police. Saying peace and love, right on, brother man. Yet if you watch him hard, he want to break your hand. They say they doesn't eat pork, but then how come them and Black Pudding is such good friend? They're making their own self-a-papi show. You might end up just like Rumpelstiltskin. Theodore Guerra prosecute soldiers, for that he get one set of horrors. And then when Marie gone down Walker, they run and they call the same Guerra. You say Mahathir too quiet and soft, and Victor Campbell is a big show. You ain't war Eric Kamal call neither part. If it's a badge on you want, well call Dr. My friend, if you don't want democracy, the opposite is guerrilla activity. If you don't want democratic improvement, you have to want a revolutionist government. And yet when Guy Harewood went in the hills with Jennifer Jones, you let them get killed. All you're doing is grinning and skylarking. You come like the ass in the lion's skin. Because you call Robinson a traitor. You say, what's that about Granger? You say, Kamal seeking your own interest. You call Millet a Marxist, Leninist. You are what DSP, neither DLP. Yet you say PNM is only Rachipi. Well, if you're bringing back dead horses on the line, well, it's all right if you bring back Larry Constantine.
Maestro with Mr. Trinidad, listeners and viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Maestro singing Mr. Trinidad. What do you think about that song, Nicole? It takes you back in time to the history of politics.
Well, it's not my type of songs.
No, but it gives you a bit into the history of politics on the years gone by. So, what we are facing today is quite different. We see now the police commissioner is using the strong arm of the law and shutting down music trucks.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
I know you have a passion for Garia, so that is why
and that's why you're asking
that is why
me.
I pose this question to you. I know you admire the man.
You put me
You're
on the
blushing.
You put me on a spot there. But
you're on camera. Don't forget you're live on camera.
If it is that you have to obey the law, because there are certain things when you're putting a music truck on the road, and this is something I can tell you from experience, there are certain requirements that you need, different passes from licensing, you need to get police passes and all those different things. And once it's done properly, then I don't see why there should be a problem to have it done. However, what he was saying today at the media conference is to still alert the police in the areas, because it's a question of safety.
They need to be informed.
Yes, it's a question of safety as well. And then again, we are seeing where persons have not been adhering to the public health regulations, gatherings in groups of 25, and persons are not wearing masks.
But don't you think Gary should have left that for his other officers to see about, rather than being as the commissioner of police to step in there?
Well, he's very he's a very outgoing police commissioner, and he likes to be out there. So he came out in his nice shorts, and and he did what he had to do. So I don't support him stopping the campaigns, but if they are against the laws of the land, then I will have to agree with him.
636-7547-227-5739. Callers and listeners, we just missed a couple calls there while Nicole was speaking, but call us back and WhatsApp us on 378-4975. I like how you said he came out with his nice shorts and shades, Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon to you and your listeners. Thanks for a wonderful program. I just want the population to be aware. Listen to Mr. Imberto and the Prime. If the government win this election, I would like to tell you, right, there will be many, many taxes coming to this nation in many, many ways. I mean, I have no problem with house tax, but the way they will put it across. But also, there are many, many taxes that for business people and the employment people. And I want people just be aware of this, because it's a serious, serious situation, because with the economy going down, it's not a nice situation at all. Another thing I want to talk about, right, is that the crime situation in the country continue to be getting very, very bad. And I would like to see very, very much, they talk about marijuana and everything. I would like to see the death penalty being forced in this country, right? Forced in this country, because it's a serious situation. You have to work hard for your money, and the way the crimes are coming is unbelievable. And when these guys commit murders and so on, the trial take 10 and 15 years to come about. So I'll leave the answers up to you. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you. Nicole, when you were speaking about the police commissioner,
Yes.
my mind reverted back. You remember that show long ago in the 70s, Chips?
Yes.
You revert my mind back to Chips. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, good day. I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you and
welcome.
Thank you for listening and calling in.
Just basically to endorse the previous caller, I am a first-time voter for this election. So in 2010, I would not have voted. In 2015, I would not have voted. But this time around, I will be voting. And as a young person looking to start a family and stuff, the country is really in a mess, and we need a change. And I mean, with taxes and stuff, a lot of friends out of university not getting any jobs. I mean, how you could tax people into poverty? There must be a sustainable plan, and we need that change. We can't expect to be getting different results if it is we are putting the same people. So you would have interviewed Nikolai earlier, excellent young man, and I look forward to having him being part of the politics in years to come. But sadly, a third force isn't always the viable option because of our two-party system.
Yes.
But this ruling government, they need to go. They need to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. 636-7547-227-5739. Continue to call us in on Politics 2020. It's just about 20 minutes after the top of the hour, or you can WhatsApp us on 378-4975.
Yes. Well, and today, SA students went back out to school.
To school, yes, the classes.
Well, I'm seeing that 95% of them reported to classes.
That is very good.
Yes.
Yes, that's
So
excellent.
They have 1 month before the examinations.
And in between that, it's general elections.
Yes.
I wonder how the school will be affected during the elections.
Well, of course, they would not have classes on that day. And that might just be it.
I wonder if voters and so, some people would destroy the compound.
And then that's the other thing. One after the elections, with persons being in and out of the school compound, how long would it take for them to sanitize again and get it prepared once more for
because
the students?
that's between August 10th and the
Yes.
20th, just 10
Yes.
days.
Yes.
Would it be prepared in time? That's another question left to be answered.
Yes.
Well, I suppose the union would be looking at all of that, and they have indicated all of that to the minister.
Yes.
I see the union leader had indicated all of that to the Minister of Health about the schools being sanitized in time for the SEA exams. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome.
Blessed evening to the two beautiful ladies there.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
You see, the circus have started. The PNM campaigning on the same thing over and over, and then not coming and fooling anybody and showing them that they are doing something. And Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa came in and say what she has to say. And that young guy who just spoken there, these are the people who are going to put back. Kamala is coming and Rowdy is going out. It's really like that. Because if you keep campaigning on corruption and come back and telling we the same thing over and over, what you're going to do in the next 5 years? This country collapse. You pull out the heart of the country, Petrotrin, and the whole country collapse. Everything in this country, from you go to the supermarket, people getting problem to buy food. People going to the hospital, they're getting problem. People going to the courthouse getting problem. Wherever you go and you make a report, is problem. Every single thing. And I think Mr. Rowley has failed himself, society, and the country at whole. Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa give us her word, and we're going to give her back that chance. And we, the people, is the people that has the power to change it. And to the young people of Trinidad and Tobago, this is your future. Mrs. Kamala, bring all you to the 21st century. The PNM has taken all your back in time. So if you all want betterment for tomorrow, you all come out and vote for Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. You all have a blessed and wonderful day, and have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. You know, Nicole, I am noticing that American President Donald Trump, he is now seeing the importance of wearing face masks. You know, he had minimized its importance earlier, especially during the height of the COVID pandemic. Now today he tweeted as many people as he could, saying that it's patriotic. He's saying it's patriotic now to wear the face mask. Yes.
Well, I saw France has made it mandatory for face masks to be worn as well. And just some news coming in. 2 men were just shot and wounded in front of the agriculture shop in Matarita. That is in Arima. So for
isn't that the area you're planning to go into weekend?
I am actually planning to go into the Arima area this weekend. But, you know.
You have to be careful out there. Yeah, just to inform our listeners, caller, just hold for a second. All right, let me take the call first, and then I will inform you of these figures. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome.
Good afternoon again, Anne and Nicole.
Eric, hello. Again.
You know, I heard a gentleman prior to this saying that you cannot tax people into whatever you want to call it. But I don't know if you understand what taxes are. Taxes generally, where corporations are concerned, are paid on profits made. And if you were to reduce corporation taxes, the question is, what are you going to supplement it with? Especially in a situation where we lost half of the corporations at Point Lisas, and we keep losing others. This country's saving grace right now is to harvest in 3 years' time the gas that we are getting from the Manatee field to restart Point Lisas and do things better in the country. At this point in time, the question of the economy looms large because we know for what we have to service, if we do not have the money to service it, we cannot service it. Let me tell you something. If we reach a stage where we have to go to the IMF, the first thing the IMF is going to demand is that you have a better system of revenue collection in the country. They're also going to demand that you have property taxes, because nobody who supports the IMF, like Canada and so, where they have property taxes, where they have a better system of collection of revenue, are going to endorse giving you a loan when their citizens have to pay for you. That's not going to happen. And we have to get real in this country. We have to get real that there's a sort of global crisis taking place in economies all over. And if we believe that we can just talk pie in the sky, that we are going to get it like manna from heaven, and it's right there, but Rowley don't want to spend it cheap. At the end of the day, we'll know where barley grow in this country, because the fact is that the country really and truly has no money. And you're only going to get money if you're able to develop industries, if you're able to have an efficient collection of taxes, if you try to ensure that there are new streams of commerce, like when you try to ensure that there were sandals in Tobago and Ms. Prasad Bisesa laughed when she realized it was crashed. I mean, let us be serious. We have to get somewhere in this country. And when persons talk about what they're happening now, they say this thing is just election thing, about EMBD and all of that, I shudder to think if they really and truly understand what is taking place. A situation where government is in office and something like that took place and nobody wants to say that they are accountable for it. Somebody has to be held accountable. At the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago is only going to be better if we understand that it needs money to run the country, and the money has to come from somewhere. It can only come from the corporations and the individuals who are here, and by developing new streams of commerce. I thank you.
Thank you, Eric. We lost that caller. Of course, that is how our country is run, by taxes. You need to pay taxes in order to develop ourselves. But I was just about to inform you, Nicole, about the figures, the COVID figures. But let me take this caller first. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Anne.
Hi.
Angela Swamba here.
Yes, Mr. Mamba. How are you?
Let me tell you a story now. You know, Habitat for Humanity has given us a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
The house isn't finished yet. So we're living next door. It's flooding so much up in my ankle and water in the washroom. And girl, I always have socks on my foot with, and I'm diabetic, right? And I try now going in the washroom, and the first time I see water up to my ankle, my whole foot wet down, all my socks wet down. Now my son is a disabled child. If this child, when they go use your washroom, he can't go. There's so much of water, and if he fall down, he can injure himself really bad. It's Habitat for Humanity and Mr. Kosal company. And I would like to highlight, if there's somebody listening, to hear me. And
if they can assist you in your plight.
Yes, that's the house.
But when you had highlighted the problem with the water tank and we had helped you out, the councillor, when he came to you, did you indicate this to him?
I told him about it, yes, but he said that he had nothing for now. But and last December 20th, we're supposed to get
what is causing the flooding and not the drainage?
I don't know, maybe because I can't go in the back of the house to see what's going on.
So then it falls under the local government representative and under the corporation.
Okay.
You'll have to contact your councillor. But I'll try and highlight your matter again on the air, and if there's anyone listening to assist you.
Because I was long time I was last year. What I was saying is that you pointed out December we're supposed to get the house. Like the rainy season come again. We didn't get the house yet.
Ms. Mamba, which area again you reside in? Londonville?
Enterprise.
Enterprise. What street?
Budram.
Budram. Okay. Okay, thank you for calling in. 636-754-722-75739. I know your councillor listens to this program. If he's listening, please try and help out your constituent there in Enterprise, in Budram Street and Enterprise. Hello, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon. According to your experts yesterday, it's not a matter of if we have to do the IMF. It's a matter of when.
When, yes, we are headed for the IMF.
Yes, and this idea of taxes, before the IMF even think about tax, you make work programs, cut it right away. No more CPEP, no more URP. That done. YTIP, MyLAT, all them things done. So don't talk about, taxes. Taxes one. Let me tell you something. Before we became independent, you know about PAYE?
Yes, of course.
No. Dr. Williams introduced PAYE in this country.
I know about PAYE. My father used to pay PAYE. He worked at Petrotrin.
That's right. That's when Dr. Williams introduced it. And Sparrow made a calypso on that.
I remember seeing his payslip. I remember seeing his payslip with PAYE written on it. That is why I could tell you I know about PAYE.
Yeah, and Sparrow said what the father said is sharpen the axe when the collector come to collect the income tax. That was introduced by Dr. Williams in this country. This tax. You won't pay any PAYE before that, no VAT before that.
That is pay as you earn.
That's right, and all of these taxes, when you check it out, how much of the money that is collected in this country goes into paying government employees? And I mean ministers. I mean the flashing lights, the entertainment, the Hyatt Regency, the flying to Tobago and hiring 50% of the rent cars in Tobago to park up outside. This kind of stupidness have to stop. And we talk about tax people more to keep letting the politicians enjoy the wealth of this country. I say, you want to tax, let me tax. You want to have ceiling, let me have ceiling. But start from the very top. Thank you very much, Ann.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Ann.
Hi.
I want to ask you a question, but I don't know if you can answer. Nothing about personal thing, But if you could remember, well, first, let me say it this way. The PNM, from the time they started to accuse UNC token thief, they just energize their supporters. That is sad. Anyhow, you remember which Prime Minister, let's say, was the biggest thief in Trinidad?
Which they say the public?
Yeah. They say Pandey is the biggest thief. Pandey. But Pandey is the man who, if he thief, he put that stabilization fund for the people. At that time, they talk about bridges. He built hospital, not hospital, but police station and whatnot. Okay, that is one point. I remember during that election after that, when his slogan was for the next election was, we gone too far to turn back now.
Yes, turn back now.
And what the PN people, the PNM people, supporters were saying, you remember that?
I can't remember what they were saying, but I remember Pandey's slogan of turn back now.
Right, we gone too far to turn black now. Can't remember that?
It's probably slipped my mind, but I remember Mr. Pandey's slogan turn, yes.
And the people turned, the PNM supporters they changed our word back to black. And let other supporters...
Well, you'll always find this happening in politics. All over the world it happens. It is the trend.
No, but you understand the point I'm
They always play the race card at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Wasn't it the thousands of supporters on this black movement in the USA, Nicole?
Yes.
And they were supporting the black movement. What happened now? Now they turn from black to blank? 636-7547-227-5739. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Duki.
Good afternoon.
Yes, calling from Freeport. We'd like to know what's the latest status on the Guyana issue.
Okay.
Could you kindly enlighten us?
Yes, I had announced it earlier. Lower the volume on your radio, please.
Thank you.
Sure. I'll let you know. Let me take this caller first. I had informed our listeners about that with Guyana just a short while ago. Just give me a second here. I had it where the decision that was made on March 2nd, it was in terms of Guyana. Hold it there. The Guyana rejects the U.S. request to air propaganda to Venezuela. Not that. I was reading about a report where there's so much happening. I was reading earlier where the March 2nd elections, it was stated by the commission that there were too many irregularities to allow it to be law. And that is what was the latest with Guyana. Continue to call us in, 636-7547-227-5739. The exact report I was reading earlier, I'll try and pull it back for you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
And people who do not know history should not speak it. When Mr. Pandey won the election in 1995 and he returned from England after having some surgical work done, he announced that there would be elections in the party. Trevor Sudama joined forces with Ralph Maraj, and they subsequently...
Trevor, Ralph and Ramesh, yes.
And they subsequently decided to support Ramesh. Carlos John, who came into the party, people saw him as a dupe, into the party. And because he came into the party and he was fighting for the position of deputy political leader, they coined the term, we in the UNC have gone too far to turn black now. That was a UNC thing. It had nothing to do with the PNM. Please leave us out of it. It's UNC members that said that.
Okay, thank you. Listener, you heard that, yeah? What's your take on it? Call us back. 636-7547, 227-5739. Hello, good afternoon.
A man want to correct his and say Pandey won election 1995. Pandey win election 1995. Robinson gave Pandey 2 seats and decided to become Prime Minister. Pandey won election in 2000. Thank you.
Thank you. 636-7547, 227-5739. What is your take on it? Did Mr. Pandey say that or not? Nicole, you probably weren't following politics back then.
No.
I was just entering it. I remember parts of it. I remember the slogan. Hello, good afternoon, welcome.
That caller would always turn everything against. He must be afraid to turn when he's sleeping. I can remember that very clear. You say you're a journalist, and that's why I said we could talk, and if you could remember. If you remember, fine.
I said I remember Mr. Pandey's slogan.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If you didn't remember the people saying that, that is what the people were saying. We gone too far. They changed our word back to black. That did happen in this Trinidad here. So I know he's talking about Ramesh and them. All of them was together at that time anyway. So that had nothing to do with what he's saying. I remember very clearly because his slogan was to carry the country forward and saying we're going too far to turn back now. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Well, you know, Nicole, politics make strange bedfellows.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Triple D.
Yes, Mr. Triple D.
Right. I want to tell Mr. Eric he could make a good footballer as a defender. Like one. Secondly, Mr. Pandey run this country $9 a barrel with oil. I want Eric to write down that in his brain and remember that. That is my contribution.
Okay, thank you very much. 636-7547. You have just a couple minutes to call in before we wind up the program. Remember, listeners, on Thursday, I have a special guest in studio with me discussing NIS. That is Mr. Maraj. Mr. Sat Maraj will be joining me in studio just after the 4 p.m. news. So if you have any more questions on your NIS contribution, you can save them and call me in then. That is on Thursday. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm hearing your program, right? I'm listening to your program there.
Yes.
I wonder, if I don't go away, I wonder if they will behave like that. You live in another country, I wonder if they behave like that. They say things they want to say. I know for a fact that those who go away, they do worse than that. They do worse. Right, Ann?
Yes, I'm listening.
You listen to me?
Yes, I'm
I
listening.
went there and I was doing, you're not teaching, right?
Yes, I know at Marabella.
Right. Now I became a principal, right?
Go ahead, make your point, sir.
I make a point now. When I went away, I saw his train selling ticket. You're a teacher, you're a teacher, there. A teacher, you're paying 20 days. Yeah, look who's...
Oh, well, sir, I didn't cut you off. Your phone disconnected. But let me tell our listeners, Nick and Nicole, even Barack Obama, President Barack Obama of the United States, even he had made that statement. We have gone we have come too far to turn back now.
Right.
Right? Maybe tomorrow if I have time, I'll pull up the clip and play it. I'll try and find Mr. Pandey clip. But I could very well remember that slogan for Mr. Pandey. Hello, good afternoon.
Good evening, Ms. Nicole. Even Ms. Ann.
Hello.
Good evening.
All right. I hear them, the issues are facing us. That kind of trivial talking for a long day too. I mean, I know sometimes even one prime minister, I didn't even respond to that statement on Ms. Kamala made. I didn't even respond to that, you know. But I responded to that now.
There are more important issues to deal with, I think.
I responded to that, you know, happened there, you campaigning that for the right, as well as, so I just let that pass and let that interpret the one. So, at this point in time, you're doing too much talking. It's kind of focusing on issues and you want to repeat yourself neither. Yes, and that is the suggestion and recommendation I have for them. And another thing, Miss Anne, I think I heard Tableland Morugava independent candidate.
Who is it?
I don't know. I saw it in the paper. I don't know.
Well, I'll check it out tomorrow.
I don't know the name. I trying to find out who the name who it is.
That's news to me. I'll have to check and see.
It's tomorrow evening.
Okay, take care.
Have a best day, lady.
You too.
Thank you, Mr. Morales.
Bye-bye.
I have to contact you on another matter. You'll look out for my call. Taken back in 2001, Nicole.
Yeah.
Where the ruling party, that was the UNC, they had faced the race card. Back there when Mr. Pandey in a debate, there was a debate heating up about race. And Trinidad and Tobago found itself in the middle of a race storm, even as the country was preparing to celebrate 156 years of Indian Arrival Day. Right? And the statement was made on a national holiday by Mr. Pandey, where he said, we have come too far to turn back now. And the UNC had found itself in some difficult situation after that statement was made. Obviously, that is how politics is. The People's National Movement would have played on that race card. And if I can find the clip tomorrow, I will try and get it and play it on the show so our listeners can be privy to it. You have just a couple minutes to call in on 636-7547, 227-5739. If you wish to make a comment, we are discussing COVID-19. I was about to read for you the current figures. Nicole, there are 5 persons currently at Cora right now, quarantined. And I know that you are itching to go to Cora because you are seeing pictures of people fetting at the river. Right?
Not in this
selling
weather.
out your secrets.
Not in this weather, and
hello, good afternoon.
Hey, the comment you just made about late President, Prime Minister Manning, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that? He made that. What did he say during the celebration of our Indian?
I said Mr. Pandey had made that statement. He said we have come too far to turn back now.
Okay, all right, yes, and that made sense. You see, I was reading about the history of the 1956 election, where the PNM, when they were trying to garner support, because remember, they were like the only party around. So what they did was they embraced the Muslim community, of course the Christian community, the Protestants, and then of course the other religious groups they brought in. But for some reason, Bade Sagan Mirage and the PNM, like...
Whatever, let's call it whatever was their coded language, this is how they speak as politicians.
You know, and people say that we were kept, the Indian population were kept behind, and we are now catching up. And to a large extent, I think there's a lot of truth to that, because they were excluded from a lot of procurement contracts, access to better education, and homes, and just job opportunities. And I feel like that divide, we're finally bridging that gap now as one people, but economically now it's about rich and poor. So I just wanted to say that comment.
Thank you. 636-7547, 227-5739. Yes, Nicole, are you heading to Cora?
Actually, no, and rain is falling. And
that's in your region, you know.
Yes, but I'm looking at some. I can show you the video. Some rain is falling.
You are seeing Cora River, and you're hyped up to go there to a fete. Somebody tell me you're a fatting girl, you know.
Well, Anna, you know I fat up for the entire weekend, right?
Yes, I know, for your birthday.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
I come back to make this point. People just work for three things in life: a nice home, a car, and a piece of land. When we build in that home, we pay taxes already. Everything we buy, we pay taxes for that. Why coming back to charge us taxes again? Because we put in light, we put in water. We pay in light bill, we pay in water rate. And keep on, they tax us, they dry your pocket. They gone in the treasury, dry the treasury for 4 generations. The people in this country pay taxes and don't get value for it. What this government has done to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, they shake from the middle class. When they shake the line, the middle class fall and turn poor. The poor turn poorer, and the rich becomes richer in this country. And if we, the citizens, don't vote out, we are the one to blame, not Mr. Rowley. We are I could say donkey.
Yes, you could say donkey. It's an English word.
So I will leave you, Jack Riley. Have a blessed, wonderful day.
Take care, caller. 636-754-722-75739. We have just about 4 to 5 minutes again on the show. Yes.
You know, according to this guy, I just now talk there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me add a little spin to that. Now we had two challenges when they got in the power, right? You could have either revamp the property tax, or you could have raised gas. Because there was the gas, the subsidy on the gas was a good couple of million, was earning 20 billion a year. So since you chose to raise gas, which was an easier tax to collect, because the property tax would have a sort of complication and people would the gas they had to run. So with raising the gas, it's unfair to come and want to take property tax. You know, you had to choose between two. And if that was your choice, you should have sat down with the technical people and decide, fellas, we have to raise. We can't put it too burden in the country because here now, you have an HEC house. Right now, a lot of land in Princeton is about $1 million. And you have a man getting an HEC house in Princeton done, built already for $450, $500. And then the unfair thing about that now, a house not available to everybody. If a house was available to everybody who wanted one, that would have been fair. But my same tax dollar now, paying for a house that I might need a house and can't get it because they don't have the duty demand. So there is a complete imbalance. And this HEC needs to be revamped because HEC is the user of political football in Trinidad. And the other taxpayers are not good, not getting a house, they have to build their own house. And they don't even subsidize building material in Trinidad. If they don't subsidize building material, you got to charge more property tax. But you said I build a house, I know people 15, 16, 20 years, and they got complete house. And then now you come to tell me, I mean, you have to balance the act. Whoever gets in, we need to have, I think from now on we will need citizens to get more vocal, yes, because we need to now waiting on politicians, and then for that partner, them and the partner pocket, and we getting struggling more and more as the days go on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. I'm seeing a release here from the UNC, Nicole. I'm trying to pull it up.
I saw it, but it's so fine that I can't read
very
it from
fine.
my phone.
I'm trying to see if I can boost it up to read it out for our listeners here. Just give me a second. 636-754-722-75739. I wonder if the leader have finally
Let me see if I can
reacted.
If I can work something out here.
The UNC, finally, they have probably made a statement. Yes. Remember, listeners, you can join us, Kenrick and Mukesh, in the morning on You Talk.
Kenrick
and Nicole, sorry, on You Talk in the morning. Mukesh is coming up next.
Yes.
Yes, with Talk Your Talk, and that is popular, famous Bull Pistol. I'm reading parts of it. Instead of offering solutions to deal with the numerous socio-economic issues facing TNT, they have emerged into poor leadership. Rowley is using the same tactic he employed in 2015 general election campaign, with his campaign's accusation where he debunked and showed to be false. Rowley hopes that the population would disregard the incompetence of its administration and the complete lack of any new ideas. But the people of Trinidad and Tobago will not accept this time around. The people wants to see plans, ideas, and policies for their future, not distraction. That is a release just sent out by the United National Congress, where the leader is asking its name UNC citizens and hopes and plans to enhance their lives and allegation and distraction. There you have it, folks. Winding up for this evening. Politics 2020. You can join me back again tomorrow from 3 to 6 p.m. where Nicole will be joining me again once more on Politics 2020, where you can call in and have your voice heard. If you have missed any part of this program, remember you can catch us on YouTube on RCL U975 FM and of course on the traditional radio band of 975 FM. Have yourself a safe and wonderful evening.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.